Picture a creature, a real-life sea monster, that swam with dinosaurs. For millions of years it was known only from fossils, a ghost etched into stone. Scientists were sure it was wiped out in the same cataclysm that killed the T-Rex. But what if they were wrong? This is the story of a fish that seemingly came back from the dead. A creature that holds the secrets to one of the biggest leaps in evolutionary history. The moment life first crawled onto land. It's a story of a disappearing act that lasted 66 million years and a rediscovery that would change science forever. This is the incredible story of the coelacanth. To really get the coelacanth, we have to go way back, not just to the age of dinosaurs, but to the Devonian period, over 410 million years ago. The oceans back then were a different world, teeming with armored fish and giant sea scorpions. On land, the very first forests were just starting to grow, and in these ancient waters, the coelacanth made its first appearance. For hundreds of millions of years, the coelacanth was a success story. It was part of a critical group of fish known as the Sarcopterygiae, or lobe-finned fishes. Now, most fish have fins made of delicate rays, but these guys had something special. Their fins were fleshy, muscular, and supported by bone. It was a branch of this exact group that would eventually give rise to the first four-limbed land animals, the tetrapods. That family includes amphibians, reptiles, birds, and yes, us. The coelacanth was, in a way, a living blueprint for the limbs that would one day let vertebrates conquer the continents. Fossils show that coelacanths were once everywhere. But then, around 66 million years ago, they vanished from the fossil record. The same asteroid that spelled doom for the dinosaurs seemed to take the coelacanths with it. For 19th and early 20th century scientists, the story was over. The coelacanth was an extinct relic, gone, or so they thought. Now, fast forward to December 23, 1938. A fishing trawler is hauling in its catch off the coast of East London, South Africa. On deck is a young museum curator, Marjorie Courtenay-Latimer. She had a habit of checking the local catches for interesting specimens. On this day, among the usual sharks and rays, she spotted something she'd never seen before. It was a big, heavy fish, about 5 feet long, with a strange steely blue color and large armored scales. But what really grabbed her attention were its fins. They weren't flimsy, they were thick, fleshy, almost like limbs. She knew, with a curator's instinct, that this was no ordinary fish. It was something ancient. Knowing she couldn't let it be lost, she frantically tried to preserve it. As the fish began to decay in the African heat, she sent a sketch and a desperate letter to a fish expert named J.L.B. Smith. When Smith finally saw her letter weeks later, he was floored. He later wrote, "I was staring at a fish that was supposed to have been dead for 50 million years." He immediately shot back what might be the most famous telegram in the history of science. Most important, preserved skeleton and gills fish described. When Smith finally saw the mounted specimen, he knew. It was a coelacanth. A creature believed to be extinct for longer than humans have walked the earth was alive. The news sent shockwaves through the scientific world. It was hailed as the greatest zoological discovery of the 20th century. A living fossil had been found. So, what does living fossil even mean? It's a nickname for an organism that looks like it hasn't changed much in millions of years, closely matching its fossil ancestors. And the coelacanth is the poster child. Its body plan is remarkably similar to its relatives from 300 million years ago. But here's where the story gets really interesting. For years, people thought this meant the coelacanth was an evolutionary dead end, but modern genetics tells a totally different story. Despite its ancient looks, the coelacanth genome is not frozen in time. A 2021 study revealed that about 10 million years ago, the African coelacanth acquired 62 new genes by hijacking them from other species through jumping genes. And even more recently, research from 2024 has shown that coelacanth evolution actually seems to speed up during periods of intense tectonic activity, as shifting continents create new and divided habitats. So, it's not a fossil that's just still alive. It's a master survivor. It perfected a body plan that worked and stuck with it, while still adapting on a genetic level. And what a body plan it is! Those lobed fins aren't just for looks. The coelacanth moves them in an alternating pattern, almost like a horse trotting. It literally walks through the water, giving us a peek at the kind of movement that came before the first steps on land. Its skull has a unique hinge in the middle, letting it open its mouth incredibly wide to swallow large prey whole. And up front, it has a special sensory organ that detects the weak electric fields of its prey, a perfect tool for hunting in the pitch-black depths it calls home. Stories like this, about the deep connections that bind all life together, are what we love to explore. If you find this stuff as fascinating as we do, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss what's next. So why is this weird-looking deep-sea fish so important to our own story? Because the coelacanth isn't just some distant, bizarre cousin. It's one of our closest living relatives in the entire fish kingdom. Remember that ancient group, the lobe-finned fishes? It gave rise to two main lineages that survive today, the lungfishes and the coelacanths. Another branch of that same family tree crawled out of the water and gave rise to every single amphibian, reptile, dinosaur, bird, and mammal that has ever lived. The coelacanth is like a time-traveling relative, showing us the raw materials our own ancestors had to work with. When scientists finally sequenced the coelacanth's genome, they found something astounding. It contains limb development genes, like BMP7 and GLI3, which are incredibly similar to the genes that build our own arms and legs. This fish, swimming in the dark, carries parts of the genetic instruction manual that made walking possible. It's a living, breathing snapshot of the evolutionary potential that existed in our aquatic ancestors, long before they ever stepped ashore. After that first discovery in 1938, it took another 14 years to find a second coelacanth. We now know of two living species: the West Indian Ocean coelacanth, found mainly near the Comoros Islands, and the Indonesian coelacanth, which was discovered in a fish market in 1997. They live in deep, volcanic caves, sometimes over 200 meters down, which explains why they were hidden for so long. In recent years, daring expeditions by explorers like Laurent Balesta have used advanced diving gear to film these animals in their natural habitat, revealing their slow, ghostly movements. These observations have uncovered just how unique their lifestyle is. A 2021 study revealed coelacanths live life in the ultimate slow lane. They can live for nearly 100 years, don't reach sexual maturity until they're between 40 and 69 years old, and have a gestation period that lasts a mind-boggling 5 years, the longest of any known vertebrate. But this slow-motion life also makes them extremely vulnerable. Both species are threatened. The West Indian Ocean coelacanth is listed as critically endangered, while the Indonesian species is vulnerable. A 2025 review is reassessing the Tanzanian population's threatened status, highlighting the ongoing risks. Their biggest threats are being accidentally caught by fishermen and the degradation of their deep-sea habitats. From a fossil ghost to a living legend, the coelacanth is so much more than a fish. It's a symbol of resilience, a survivor that has navigated hundreds of millions of years of change on our planet. It's a biological time capsule holding secrets to our own incredible journey from the water to the land. The story of the coelacanth is a powerful reminder of how little we still know about our own planet. And it makes you wonder, what other secrets does the deep ocean still hold? If you enjoyed this trip into the deep past, hit that like button and subscribe for more incredible stories from the natural world. And let us know in the comments, what living fossil should we cover next?